Hello everyone, I'm Penros776. Welcome to Ninja Seasonal Banner. Wonder who we have this time. I wonder if I'll get more imaginative than usual this time. Well, my hopes aren't too high on that second point, but hopefully we'll have some fun characters at least, and here we are, starting off with the one that everyone expected, the Ninja Knight, Zelgius. He is a Lance Armor, I believe, our first armored ninja, and I saw Assault Troop there. You can't get it past me. So already that's something that we don't get on ninja banners, so I guess we're good so far. Let's see what he's rolling up with. His weapon, the Scarlet Spear, which is funny because spears are blue weapons, but accelerate special trigger, cooldown count -1, unit attacks twice. Even if foe initiates combat, unit attacks twice. It wouldn't be a ninja banner without it. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack plus X to unit and inflicts attack -X on foe during combat. When X is equal to 25% of foe's attack at start of combat, -2, -6, max 16. 16 is a pretty big number. Reduces damage from attacks by 30% during combat, excluding area of effect specials, and restores 7 hit points to unit after combat. Okay, so pretty straightforward effect, all things considered. At very worst, which is probably never happening, because in order to get 6 on your weapon, right, you'd need, 25% of foe's attack, so 8 times 4. Yeah, that's freaking nothing. That's like 32 attack. On the other hand, to get the full 18 times 4, that'd be like 72 attack. So, I mean, honestly, there's a lot of units out there these days that do come pretty dang close to hitting that number. So massive potential attack reduction on foe, and of course 30% damage reduction. Does not reduce damage from area of effect specials, but does from everything else, and it's just flat. You just always get that. And it's 7 HP healing after combat, always good for keeping you up, keeping you above that 25% HP threshold. For the special, Black Luna has finally been power crept. Say hello, my friends, to the Lightless Luna. Well, I assume it's power crept. Treats foes' defense rares as if reduced by 80% when special triggers. If units or foes' special is ready or triggered before or during this combat, reduces damage from foes' next attack by 40% once per combat, excluding area of effect specials. This, my friends, is Black Luna Flow, or whatever the other version of Armored Flow was called. I've forgotten already. You know the deal. It's special damage reduction, so it doesn't get pierced by DR piercing effects, and it is strapped to the back end of a regular old Black Luna. I mean, this kind of thing for armors, especially if you're running them as save armors, is really solid. A lot of people looking to break tanks do so with the assumption that they're going to have to shred damage reduction. So, having unpierceable damage reduction in the form of special damage reduction, always very handy. In the A slot, Distant DR Solo, we've already seen Distant AS Solo on Fallen Byleth, but here's the damage and res version of it. Unit can counterattack regardless of foe's range. If unit is not adjacent to an ally, grants defense res +5 to unit during combat. The B slot Special Fighter 4. Pretty solid skill, admittedly loses a fair bit of its value given that Deep Wounds is not really a meta effect anymore. Not because Fatal Smoke is a bad C-slot or anything, just because nobody's really had it recently as part of their kit. But combined with the slaying in his weapon, this should most of the time ensure that our friend the Black Knight is getting that Lightless Luna on his second attacking hit if he's initiating, or, well, unless there's guard involved, or if he's being initiated into, he should always be able to get it off, right? And it's a bit of healing as well. It's a bit of extra healing on top of that 7 hit points you're getting from the weapon. So, good for sustain as well. Still don't know if it's the best B-slot around, but probably the best if you're running him as an offensive unit. I will admit, having seen an armor on the Ninja banner, I was hoping to get maybe a new Tier 4 fighter skill, maybe Bold Fighter 4, maybe Daring Fighter 4, but I will take another source of Special Fighter 4. After all, that is kind of Zelgius' thing after Winter Zelgius. And in Sea Salt we've got Assault Troop 3, which means that you finally don't have to kill a Summer Idol Guard for this skill. I mean, it's a good skill, but what are the odds that you're actually running this on this unit? I mean, it makes more sense if you're running him as a Gale Forcer, because I do think he makes a very good Gale Forcer if you're willing to lose for PRF Lightless Luna. But, there are other ways of getting charge. Alia is a great partner for that. And there's stuff like Guidance as well. So, I mean, it's considerable. Maybe not the best thing. All in all, this is kind of Summer BK again, just with a Brave weapon. Summer, Winter. All of those seasons are exactly the same in my mind. Sorry about that. The built-in flow is very nice. He is like a slight upgrade in most ways, but nothing particularly out there in terms of what he does. This is pretty much expected. I do like showing up with the potential to be applying attack minus 16 on foe, and especially granting attack plus 16 to himself when he is a Brave weapon unit. That's effectively 32 that he's getting across those 2 hits. If he can quad, 64, lovely. But, well, that is him. And has no protection against AoEs, which I think is a big issue depending on when you're running him, because I do think AoEs are now currently the best tank busting strategy. You've got access to AoEs and out of combat damage. Let's keep going, shall we? See who else is on this banner.
Such is war.
He wasn't actually getting a whole lot of attack plus there. Who is this? Are you Heather? This is definitely someone who hasn't been in Fae before, I don't think. Yeah, that's Heather. Okay. Makes sense. What's she doing? She's rallying. Oh. Do I see a B-slot that I've missed for a long time there? Okay, Heather is a green dagger infantry unit. Again has a PRF, the Spy's Shuriken. Auxiliary special cooldown count -1. If you initiate combat, you can attacks twice. Okay, so not dual phase. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants attack speed, defense, res +5 to unit during combat. If a rally assist skill is used by unit or targets unit, grants null follow-up to unit and target or targeting ally, and inflicts exposure on foes in cardinal directions of unit and target or targeting ally through their next actions. If a rally assist skill is used by unit, grants another action to unit. Additional action granted once per turn only, and it's a dagger, so it applies dagger 7. Ho ho ho. Now there is something. So to begin with, possibly the coolest part of this whole weapon is action economy, my friends. And you know how we feel about the economy. Being able to rally and then take another action after that, honestly, really valuable. I've been getting a lot of use on it on Hafe on offense, but also if you're running a rally trap on defense, which I still think is a really good thing to do if you can do it, then this effectively frees up your dancer to do whatever the heck they want to do instead of specifically being used to dance your rally unit. Admittedly, sometimes that's a bad thing because you want the effects of the dance to buff up your rally unit, but hey, you know, now you can follow up later with like Wings of Mercy or something instead. You're granting the null follow-up buff to yourself. Great. You're applying exposure. That's an extra 10 damage taken to foes as well. I think someone told me this recently. I don't know if it's true or not. I think exposure also applies damage to AoEs as well. That's something funny to think about. And then you're getting +5 to all stats. Sure, slaying. Sure, brave attack. Yay. We love brave attack. Being said, I think there's something else we've got to look for in this kit because, well, obviously for a unit that has synergy with rally skills, we have a rally skill, rally attack speed plus, yeah, remote sparrow, yeah, just give me attack and speed, I'm a ninja unit, I'm using attack and speed, and a little bit of damage reduction might make me survive one combat, which is all the combat you need to survive, really, because you're only taking one combat turn. B slot. Speed, defense, ruse. 4. Inflict speed defense -4 on foe during combat. If a rally assist skill is used by unit or target's unit, inflict speed defense -6, guard, discord, and schism on foes in cardinal directions of unit and target through their next actions. Guard, we already know, that's an obvious one. Discord, you might not remember this. Discord is a spectrum stat debuff between -2 and -5 spectrum based on how many foes are standing near the debuffed unit. Schism is new. What does it do? Neutralizes triangle attack, dual strike, and pathfinder effects active on unit through unit's next action. Unit is excluded from ally triangle attack and dual strike effects calculated using numbers of allies. When this status is neutralized, triangle attack, dual strike, and pathfinder effects are also neutralized. Literally, they finally got fed up of the frickin' Cantrip Ball. They said, yeah, no, you're not doing that anymore. We are rusing the hell out of it. And extra funny, because normally, because those statuses are mainly used on player phase, right? You don't really care about whether you've got triangle attack or anything up on enemy phase. You'd think, oh, you can just use something like a recovery skill or some other form of debuff removal to cleanse that effect before I attack. They thought of that, my friends. If you remove Schism, you also remove the triangle attack and dual strike statuses. So, ha! Admittedly, I say ha as if this is not also causing me huge problems, but, well, we'll deal with that. That's what our Gulveig strategies are for. I need to find another source of soaring guidance. That's for one. Aside from that, though, honestly, pretty dang good. Pretty dang good skill. Ruse was an old favourite of mine for rally traps back in the day because it was one of the most reliable sources of guard in the game. Nowadays there are far better ways to get guard. Guard used to be really hard to find. It isn't really hard to find anymore, but, well, it's one-upping itself. Discord is probably the most important part of this skill in the modern day because that's just a huge stat swing, and Schism is a fairly niche use case, but when you want that Schism, you will be glad that you have it. So all in all, they made this unit to cause problems for me personally, but I don't mind too much. I do mind a little bit. Let's see if we're actually getting another page here, or if there's the whole kit. No, that is the whole kit, and that was Heather. She doesn't have a special. Next, 2-in-1 banner. Say hello to Reina.
If you insist, I will leave my foes alive. It is a festival, after all.
Oh, she's being nice and not murdering everybody. Lovely. This is a 4-star unit. But still, I do like seeing new characters in the game as opposed to reprints of old characters, even if it is a little sad when they get stuck in seasonal hell like this. This is for sure a 4-star kit. What's the weapon do? Kumo Yumi Plus. If I know my Japanese correctly, that means it's a cloud bow. Which makes sense, it looked like it had clouds on it. Effective against flying foes, it's a bow. Unit can move to a space adjacent to any ally within 2 spaces, and if you initiate combat, unit attacks twice. At the start of combat, if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75%, grants stack speed, defense plus res plus 4 during combat. Okay, Spectrum plus 4, Brave, and just a great mobility effect. Only for you, but if you're putting this on a flying unit and there are a whole bunch of flying bows out there, you can pair this up with Guidance 4 or some similar effect and do the whole flyer teleporty thing that so many flyers do these days. Not a bad weapon. Combat-wise, I still think it's less effective than Arcane whatever Alchrist was running around with, but utility-wise, this is a weapon that definitely has some amount of utility. The special Glimmer you can find almost anywhere. The A slot attack speed catch 3 is actually a pretty solid source for inheriting that onto other units. Attack speed catch 4 is something that quite a lot of builds still do use. And in the C slot we've got speed defense rain 3, which, yeah, if you're going up to a hold or wherever the fancy movement rain is called, that I forget the name of, yeah, you can inherit that as well. So all around, some good stuff there. Unfortunately, it's kind of difficult to get a full kit transfer off when you consider that the inheritable weapon is taking up 2 of your inheritance slots, but, well, see what you can do, basically, is what I'm saying. It's a handy little unit to have around, and I'm sure Reina fans out there are very happy to have a Reina, because she is quite a unique character, all things considered. Let's hear some crit lines, shall we? I bet hers are great.
Scream for me?
I knew it. And finally, our duo unit. I mean, I don't hate them. But you know, I'm some.
Thrilling. You'll get a spot.
Okay, they're yelling. That's quite funny. It is Duo Sanaki as a red tome cavalry unit, and the thing I was going to say when I first saw the 2 units forming this duo is I can kind of feel the duo favoritism here. Both of these units have been in duos before, or harmonics. Sanaki was the backpack to Winterroll Tina, if you remember that. Micaiah, duo Micaiah. Yeah, so, you know, part of me is a little mad that the duo is going to these 2 units who already have their fair share of duos, while certain other characters and certain entire games are starving. But, I mean, they're not horrible units by any stretch of the imagination. They're quite popular, they're quite good units, so I'm not too mad, I'm just a little mad. The weapon, Radiant Scrolls, enables Kanto for remaining movement. Accelerate special trigger, cooldown count -1, unit attacks twice. Even if foe initiates combat, unit attacks twice. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts attack res -6 on foe during combat, deals damage equal to Y. We skipped X, okay, during combat, excluding area of effect specials, and reduces the effect of foes non-special, reduces damage by X% skills by percentage equal to Y times 4 during combat, where Y is equal to the highest total penalties among target and foes within 2 spaces of target. Example, if Y times 4 is equal to 64, a foe with a reduces damage by 45% skill would reduce damage by 17% instead. We are playing a little bit of silly buggers here with the arithmetic, but basically what you're telling me is that we have a ninja who shreds damage reduction, and can potentially shred damage reduction a fair amount. Since Y is based on total penalties, let's see, 6, 12, 24, you could easily get up to pretty much 100%, honestly. Because yes, -6 Spectrum debuff is 24 debuffs total. 24 times 4 is 96. Reduces foes' damage reduction stuff by 96%? Scary? And in fact, because panic exists, actually, even without going into the realm of -7 debuffs, if you panic some buffs on the opponent, you can very straightforwardly get over 100% DR shred. So even though this looks a little silly with whatever it's got going on, the units who are relying on unpierceable DR as opposed to raw stats for their survivability, they might be facing some issues in the near future. Especially as Iceberg, the A-slot Flared Mirror, initiates combat, deals 7 damage to foes, combat begins, yada yada yada, grants attack 7, res plus 10 to unit during combat, and applies Divine Vein Flame on 5 spaces in a line centered on foe's space, oriented left to right, based on the direction unit is facing for 1 turn after combat. Do you remember Flared Sparrow? Here's the attack and res version of it. Hello! Not bad, actually. I'm quite happy that this skill is getting introduced, because I think Divine Veins are one of the most interesting mechanics that Faye has introduced recently, and, well, I mean, countering Brave Corrin relies a lot on you being able to counter her Divine Veins if you're not relying on heavily invested units. Well, how are we supposed to do that if you're not printing any more skills that give Divine Veins to people, right? So, very happy that this is out there and not anywhere else. I don't know what I meant by that. In the B slot, Sabotage Attack Res 3, we've seen Sabotage skills before. You're sabotaging, right? You're inflicting attack res -6 on foe, because their res is too small. And in addition, you get the effect of the sabotage status, but you don't actually apply the sabotage status, because sabotage skills, funny like that. And the C slot, defense res ploy 3. Ploy 3s we've already seen as a neutralizer for stuff like bonus doubler and stuff like, Legendary Robin. They're pretty specific counter skills. They're not the sort of thing that you'd necessarily want all the time, but again, the things that they are countering are some of the strongest strategies in the metagame right now. So between the lot of this, Well, between a lot of this, we've actually got some weird overlap here because we've got Sabotage Attack and Res, and we've got Defense and Res Ploy. So both of these skills are debuffing Res. I feel like in practice you'd probably want one of these to throw in a speed debuff on there as well, just so that you've got the full package, but I guess not. They didn't want to print any new skills to make that happen. Now, I think the make and break thing for this unit is going to be what their duo skill does, so let's see. Well, we get to see their animations as well. Oh, that is actually very cool, that animation. What's the duo skill do? Oh, fuck you. It is the ninja duo skill. It is the duo skill that honestly does more harm than good to the metagame. Action economy shouldn't be this easy. So yeah, if they show up and they can use this duo skill, which they can just dance themselves, they can do another attack, they can ruin your life. And it's going to be very hard to tank these guys. I mean, even Brave Corin, right, is going to have her Pledge effect applying so that she doesn't have her Divine Veins. Basically, your only solution to these guys is to have a whole lot of res and hopefully resist all those debuffs on you. Hopefully. Okay? Okay? So, yeah, very kind of rough one there. But, well, I survived Ninja Lin, sorta. I survived Ninjorin, more or less. Let's see what we can do against Ninja Sanaki. Well, that's that for the banner. I know which unit's going to be annoying me for the rest of the year, and for the rest of forever, judging by how Ninja Lin and Ninjorin have still been annoying me on defense, even like in the last couple of weeks. But hopefully I can find a way of surviving them. Now the paralog, and let's see who our Tempest Trial unit is going to be. That's Saizo. Who would have thunk an actual ninja on the ninja banner? Well, interested to see how that one goes. And color by color, am I summoning on this banner? That's a tough one to answer. I do like some of the units, I do like some of the skills, but I'm not particularly sold on it being the metagame just yet. The special banners do tend to run quite a long time, so I think what I plan on doing is waiting out the clock on this one, seeing what the next banners up ahead are, and well, if I don't need any of the upcoming ones, then I might turn back around and grab a Ninja Sanaki for myself, so that I can inflict the same pain that I feel upon others, because I'm a miserable person. But if that doesn't happen, then it's a skip for me. But, well, let me know what you think. Are you pulling for any of these units? Are you excited to see Heather and Reina in the game? In Seasonal Hell, but in the game, new units. And that's been it from me. See you all next time. Penrost out.